to Final Year Diaries episode 1. I've decided to curate this series solely because how interesting and how beautiful I find final year to be, and I want to document each and every bit of it. This video might also make you feel that my life in final year has been so beautiful and is so romanticized, but to be honest, my life ever since I've come in final year has been pretty hectic, and you'll get to know all about it in this video. मेरा मन नहीं था कॉफ़ी पीने का, बट अब क्योंकि मेरी पोस्टिंग में थोड़ा सा डिले कर रही है तो मैं पी लेती हूँ. While I was sitting with my drawing board ideating my content, this idea struck me that I need to tell you all how beautiful and how interesting final year has been till now. And you all know my final year started with electives. The first month is completely devoted to that, and since I know a lot of you are not medicos, let me give you a brief explanation. So we all have to choose one clinical and one pre or paraclinical, basically one subject from first and second year and one subject roughly from third and fourth year, and do a 15 day posting in those subjects. The best part is because there are so many options, the number of people in one subject are very less. So in my gynae elective, which was my first elective, we were just 2 people in the entire unit. It of course leads to more attention given to you by your teachers and better teaching and better learning. For example, we came across a case where a lady with placental abruption basically means that the placenta gets detached preterm while the baby is still inside the womb, had to be managed, and thankfully ma'am sent the both of us along with a senior resident to go and see the patient and learn how to manage it. We learned so many things about how to manage patients in real life, because in medicine, theory and practical both have equal importance, and managing such serious cases in real life gives us the confidence that yes, when we grow up, we go out into our practice, even we'll be able to do this. This elective was definitely a confidence booster and something that brought me really close to understanding how real life practice works, because books and real life practice is extremely different. My gynae elective was definitely a hit. All this while in final year, these 15-20 days have been super hectic, and I've been almost feeling like I'm living a double life. One life where I go out in the morning to the hospital, learn, study, grasp new things, and cut to this content creator in the evening or in the lunch breaks who's sitting, ideating, shooting, editing, building her team, building her dreams, and just becoming the person who she wants to become. Now with final year being so hectic and strict with the timings and my life becoming so difficult, I have started to reutilize my breaks a lot for my study sessions as well as for my content. I try to utilize my lunch breaks and the smaller breaks that we get in between classes a lot, and currently I'm on my way to finish up OBGY, which is basically obstetrics and gynae. I'm just left with the last 8 videos from Marrow, and then I'll be finally done with it, so I'm pretty excited to finish it up. Meanwhile, Zoya came into my room and we were having a quick chit chat session. Now it's time to disclose to you my second elective, which is in the biochemistry department, and it's called molecular diagnostics. So here in the molecular diagnostics lab, we identify gene mutations in DNA and RNA, and depending on that we get to know what disease is the patient suffering from, what treatment would be most effective for the patient, and what can be done now to further improve their condition. Well, now ending my double life and entering the third aspect of my life is when I come back and I decide to wind down my day by doing some yoga in the evening. And today it was a beautiful day and I was very excited for the yoga session because it was going to be a face yoga and a hair yoga session. So new kinds of yoga actually excite me a lot, and this was something that I was really looking forward to. We did a lot of facial massages and a lot of hair massages, and it made me feel very relaxed. I also heard this beautiful line that made a lot of sense to me, that yoga is not a punishment that we give to our body for our past mistakes, but it's rather a celebration of the movement that it can perform. And I was impacted by this deeply because, yes, I don't need to exercise or I don't need to work out or do things just for the fact of staying slim or staying healthy, but it's all about enjoying how beautifully my body can move and how beautifully this body is shaped and designed, and self acceptance is the key to it. Post this, I had to take a few interviews of a few people because I am hiring a designer and an intern for my channel, for myself actually, not just the channel, because as you can see, Final Year has become so hectic, and I also want to improve the quality of the kind of content that I produce. So I thought of delegating my work to a few people, which is why I have thought of hiring, and I have finally hired a designer, and this video that you see has been designed by her. She's called Aditi. All the credit goes to her, because I heard this thing from someone very close that hard work is very important, but what is more important at this stage is smart work. You can't be working hard and harder and not looking at your own convenience and what matters to you. And I saw this in the first few days of final year, that I burnt out myself completely with college, with studies, and with content work, and I knew that I need someone to help me out with things here and there if I want to progress and go around with final year very beautifully and nicely and not burn out myself every now and then. Post this, I overslept a little bit because I put a wrong alarm of AM instead of PM, just Mitali things to do, and now I had to sit down and study. By now I was just left with 3 or 4 videos of obstetrics, and I was so excited for these last 3 or 4 videos to be finished. And my last video that I had to see was malpresentation, and once I ticked it off in my marrow notes, I felt so happy and so proud of myself, and I felt so relieved that finally one major subject of final year is done. By the way, final year has 9 subjects, so it's going to be tough, but OBGY is done. Finished up my night rituals, which is talwa massage. A lot of you mentioned in last video ke comments that this is for eyesight and helps you with a good sleep, so answering your questions that why do I do it. And yes, I ended my day with a little bit of prayer, a little bit of gratitude, filling up my journal, doing my to-do list for the next day. And yes, that was about this one. Do let me know, how did you like this first episode of Final Year Diaries, and would you like me to continue this series? And yes, I will see you in the next one. Till then, stay safe, take care, bye bye.